The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
Well, what the heck is going on in Connecticut? Well, with us today is Benjamin Proto, and he's the Connecticut GOP chairman. And give us a report. I mean, I know you. I've talked to you a few days ago, and you were very upset about Chris Murphy. And give us your feelings.
Well, John, I think Senator Murphy has completely and totally lost his mind. And his comments regarding, basically supporting the Iranian regime, really down-talking America and what we're doing over there. Look, whether you agree with it or not, that's your right. But you don't go overseas and, talk badly about the United States, particularly at the time of war. He knows that, and then to make the flippant comment, though I guess sarcasm doesn't work on social media, is a BS answer. He knew exactly what he was doing when he posted to social media. And quite frankly, I put out a release the other day and said he's an embarrassment to the state of Connecticut, that this is what our United States Senator is doing. He's bad-mouthing America. He's bad-mouthing our military. He's bad-mouthing the president. I get he doesn't like Donald Trump. That's fine. He has the right not to like him. But as a United States Senator, he should comport himself as a United States Senator and a representative of this country and not down-talk our country and our military.
I agree with you 110%. I mean, you can't go to other countries and talk like that as a United States Senator. I mean, that is... How do you say it? Shame, shame, shame. It's just mind-boggling. And there should be maybe the Congress, and I will speak to Mike Johnson about it, and maybe the Congress should put some kind of sanction or something.
Yeah, and it's gotten out of hand, and again, I understand that the Democrats in Washington don't like Donald Trump, and that's their right, but again, they should be held to a higher standards as members of the House of Representatives and members of the United States Senate. It's their job to ensure that America's interests are always protected. The criticism, as it says, stops at the shore. Well, I guess that old adage is gone now, that you can take it across the way. And look, it's come back out that, a number of years ago, Chris Murphy and a number of other Democrats privately met with the Iranian regime to discuss issues related to foreign policy when that is not within their bailiwick. It is not within their constitutional purview. That is left solely to the President of the United States, and they're undermining what we're doing. And again, it becomes problematic when you have different branches of government sending different messages to foreign leaders, whether they're friends or enemies, and it causes confusion, and it puts the United States in a very, very bad position. And Chris Murphy really needs to stand up and apologize, not only to the people of Connecticut, but to the people of this country.
I agree with you, and there's other Democratic senators and other Democratic leaders that are going to the Iranian regime and telling them, why don't you try to hold out until we're back in power?
Yeah, exactly. Because what are they going to do? They're going to walk
horrible.
away and look, we all know that, Iran has been the number one terror country in the world. These are people who regularly chant death to America, death to Americans. If given the opportunity to acquire a nuclear weapon, they would clearly use it. And as a result, again, you can agree or disagree with the president's actions, but I think, his actions are structured in such a way to keep that country and that regime and those terrorists from getting a nuclear weapon, which could really, destroy so much of the world. And if they were to unleash it here in the United States, it would rain holy hell across the world. And
well, they unleashed when because of President Biden giving him all that extra money, crude oil money, when crude oil went to $100 a barrel for 4 years, they hired the Hamas, and they paid the Hamas to do worse than Hitler did to Israel.
Exactly, and and they continue to rain terror not only across the Middle East, but attempt to rain terror across Europe and in the United States. And we get back to where we started. Chris Murphy just needs to stand up and be a United States senator, not the Iranian senator.
And not the Democratic senator. You got to be an American senator. Thank you.
Right.
We're out of time, but thank you so much, Ben Proto. And we'll be talking to you a lot more often because you have common sense.
Thanks, Katz. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.